One of the more exciting steps of this process, we're on to installing the gantry now. So by now, if you have a base, that should be installed, or you should verify that your frame is square. Okay, make sure your frame is square. Okay. Next thing is, you got your gantry brackets on here. You got your belts on, right? So I just got my gantry set on here, right? It's not installed or anything. It's just dangling. So now for the fun part, right? So I'm going to push this gantry bracket back. I'm going to take this, slide it in. Actually, I'll do this side first. I think I'll slide this one back. Bring this one up. I think that'll be easier to do. Pop this guy up. Make sure you still have your M5 by 12 with the slot nuts just dangling there. Okay, that slides on. Oh, I used a washer there. My bad. I remember that video. I'll have to put a comment in that one. But this the screw to mount the uh, belt bracket onto this gantry bracket, the one where the gantry slides over, don't use a washer. Just go straight through it. And that means, get snug, not super tight here. Okay, there we go. And now we slide it over, and it's on there. Okay, and then slide it too far over this way, right? And now bring this bracket in. And I'm going to have to fix the M3 on this side too. Okay, got that on. Now I got to fix this M3 with the washer. Pull that washer off. Don't know if you guys noticed through these videos, but I'm just winging this. I've built over 50 CNCs in the past few years, so sometimes I'm overconfident in my abilities. I've also taught a lot of CNC classes. I teach people how to build lasers at a local makerspace. I'm part of Snowco Makerspace, and yeah, like 3 years ago, somebody asked me to have a laser building class, and so I came up with the laser design and had a class on it. So here I am, 3 years later, trying to teach everybody the same thing. Okay, I slid it on there, and it should be flush with the edge of this piece here. Don't know if you can see it, but this bracket that can't be seen, that my right hand, my right finger here is touching, the bracket should stop there. Okay, cool. So, got that there. Now I'm going to inspect it. There's important things to look at now. So before I tighten anything on there, I need to make sure that the gantry here is laying flat on these brackets. I can see this bracket is slightly tilted like this. This one is very tilted like this, right? So I'm going to have to make sure to fix that. So I'm going to go in with my right angle here. And just loosen the bottom brackets. Okay, that's loose. Okay, that's loose. And I'm going to rotate this thing. Maybe I'll have to loosen this just a little bit here. I got that pretty tight. Just a little looser, like didn't fully loosen it. And twist it. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then tighten these back on. Okay. Again, make sure you don't have the power plugged in yet. Please don't plug it in yet. All right. Cool. Now again, not all the way loose, right? Like loose enough to move. But not just dangling there. And then again, I'm going to loosen this just a little up top. Okay, then I'm going to twist this till it's straight. Perfect, and then tighten everything back up. So now the gantry naturally fits flat on these gantry brackets, okay? Even moves a little nicer. Okay. So now that we got that done, we're going to need to make sure our gantry is straight, okay? So what I do is the holes on the rails here, I find matching ones to line it up to. So I'm going to put it at the edge of this hole and the edge of this hole, okay? So now I can see the full hole right here. The red part of the carriage is right at the tip of that hole. Same thing on this side, okay? So once I got those lined up, I'm going to tighten up these inner screws here. Carefully, right? So I'm pushing with my thumb against this and then pulling with my fingers here. Like if I just pull with my fingers, I'm going to pull the gantry forward. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use my thumb against this and then use these fingers to pull. That way I don't pull the gantry towards me. So that's pretty tight there. Do the same thing over here. Okay, this time I'm using my finger and my other hand to make sure I'm not actually moving the gantry as I tighten this. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to verify. Okay, that's at the edge. That's at the edge. This moved a little bit. I can still sort of torque it because there's only one screw holding it. Okay, and then the outside ones. All right, got the outside ones here. Okay, now we got one more piece to do. Okay, so the gantry's on here, right? Looking good. What you're gonna do here is look at your Y rails and find the straightest one. Okay, whichever one's straightest, leave it. Go to the one that's maybe not the straightest. If they both look straight, then just pick one. Okay. Mine both look pretty straight here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen. I guess I'll loosen this side because it's easier to get a screwdriver here because I don't have this laser switch shield over here. So I'm going to loosen all three. You might have more, but all three of my screws on this side, I'm going to loosen. Okay, that's just enough for this rail to wobble around. All right, so I'm going to bring this pretty far forward, right, covering the second to last hole. And I'm going to tighten this screw up here. Okay, then I'm going to slide it all the way back and do the same thing. Okay, all the way back here, tighten this screw up, and then I'll tighten the middle one up. What that did was made sure that these are perfectly parallel to each other. So now as I move this, it slides real easy. Well, not real easy. It's got the stepper motors there, but it slides pretty well. And now this slides still pretty well. And here we go. We've got our gantry aligned. We've got the brackets aligned. We've got our Y rails aligned. Now we got a lot of wiring to do. A lot more wiring to do. Thanks for watching.